Hello, in this video I wanted to speak about what I'm experiencing these days. So I'm very much guided to do this work of recording videos, of channeling my intelligence, of channeling God through me, of sharing my gifts with the world, which is my purpose of being here, leaving legacy for the people of the present times, but it looks like mostly of the future, because people nowadays don't feel like doing the real work of life, which is an energetic, experiential acceptance of God into their life. So I was a little bit hesitating these days making videos, because I was like, nobody's looking at these videos. Why should I be making this, right? And then there was an article being presented to me via my Facebook feed, speaking about Noah's Ark, right? The dude from the Bible that was building the ship, not knowing for what, but he had to build it in order to save those that are meant to survive the world flood, the world recalibration, the dying of the old and the birth of the new. And he was constantly being tested in his faith, in his obedience to God. Will he do it, even though he doesn't have the results of the flood even happening, right? And so it was totally aligned with me hesitating upon my own guidance, because I felt like a little bit nobody gives a shit about real things, about fully becoming mature and liberated, fully doing the work. And I was like, what's the point of it, but why should I, like, what's the hustle, what's the hurry about it, right? Why do I have to do it now? And then I was just like hesitating and postponing acting upon my guidance that was provided to me. And then I was just not filming these videos, right? And then this article about Noah, and I was like, okay, it looks like you should anyway follow up on the guidance that you receive and act from that alignment, because this is your work, and the work, like the results, are the works of God. They will come when you do the work, right? How can you get results if you don't follow up on the guidance? And I was like, okay, I get it. And that day, even though I got the message, I didn't do any video, even though I was guided to. I went to sleep, and at 3 a.m. in the morning, God was like, okay, you're resisting, you're not making the videos that I guide you to do, no problem, but then I will wake you up at 3 a.m., give you a huge energetic boost, and the message that it will be so clear for you what you need to do. And so I was woken up at 3 a.m. with so much energy and with clear message, what do I need to do? But that message came so fast, so clearly to me, that it stayed with me in my bed. And then I just went back to sleep, right? And now I'm here trying to remember everything that came, and I don't, which I really don't like it, right? It would be the best for me to have a video recorder by my bed the moment the message comes, to just press record. This would be most easiest for me. But I don't want to record on my phone. I don't know why. Maybe I should start doing it. We will see. I feel like this is better quality. That's why I don't want to do it on the phone, because I have this beautiful mic and the camera, and making it on the phone would just not be the same quality. That's why. But maybe it will be better to just make it on the phone, because then the message is more up to date, more clear, less distorted. So, but I remember what it was about. It was about this recognition, and then me just seeing the reality of my neighborhood. Most of the people in my neighborhood where I live, my neighborhood is the mirror of the world. And so in my neighborhood, most of the people are either alcoholics or drug abusers, right? People that are dependent, addicted on alcohol or drugs, maybe just smoking or weed or whatever else there is, and alcohol. Like, people are drinking alcohol like water. And because almost all of them are alcoholics and drugs addicts, or addicted to whatever in their life, everybody is addicted to something. It's pretty astonishing once you start seeing clearly. Everybody is addicted to something. Everybody is addicted. Everybody is trying to through this addiction, trying to alleviate the suffering they're experiencing, right? Because addiction is just that. Addiction is just people trying to alleviate pain, stress, suffering that they're experiencing, trying to distract themselves from it, trying to process it. They are trying to resolve their own issues, but they're not doing it through a lasting method of life, but through a short-lived experience, relief, which actually just drains you even more, right? And distorts you and makes you sick, and then dependent on it. So not resolving anything. And so people are just lost and trying to resolve themselves, but they don't know the lasting way to it. So all of the drug abuse, all of the alcoholism that you see, all of the smoking that you see, all of this vaping that you see, all of these things that you see are just people trying to alleviate their own pain, suffering, their own stress in the body, their own unpleasantness of the mind, their own burdening of the mind, because of the stress of the body, because of the resistance to life force. That's it. This is it. All of the unpleasantness, all of the chaos that you have in the mind is because of the unpleasantness, stress, unrelaxedness that you have in the body. All of the tightness, all of the contraction that you have in the body is making it impossible for the mind to be relaxed, because the mind is only mirroring what it is inhabiting. If you are inhabiting a stressed body, you cannot be relaxed, right? And so because body is burdened, it is constantly in a state of survival. It is in this state only because it hasn't processed the trauma. And the trauma is you resisting your life force. You resisting your life force, you living in fear. You then live in a state of survival, in a state of fight or flight. That's it. And so the point is not to relax your body through a method, technique, or substance, but to become resilient. You don't resolve trauma by relaxing or meditating about it and dissociating from it. You relax the body and therefore the mind, and truly resolve the issues of life by becoming resilient, by facing the fear of following upon the guidance of God, the fear of following upon the flow of life, by acting on the flow of life. You face the fear, the rejection of the life itself by facing it, becoming dedicated to it step by step, and facing all of the fear on its way. So you starting to become open to the guidance of God, starting to be aligned with the guidance of God, starting to act on it, receive it, and act on it. Because only in this way, when you start acting on the guidance of God, you're being feminine in receiving it, and then acting on it masculine in it. And so then you're already functioning from the balance that you want to manifest in the future. How will you manifest a balanced life if you're not already stepping now in the steps of balance? It's impossible. And you can only do this through the method of life. You cannot do this through a method that human invented or technique. It's impossible. Or through a drug. You can only do it through life, through the method of life, through the guidance of God. Because in it, in the surrender of life, there is already integrated the balance itself, the masculine and feminine principle of life that you want to manifest. By being aligned means in the moment, receiving, being open, the life force that's coming from God, which is the guidance itself, obeying it and acting on it. It's then the masculine part. And therefore you're acting, behaving in this balance of masculinity and femininity, and then manifesting that, right? And while you're doing that, you're facing the fear from doing that, because you were resisting doing that, because you were doing this as a child naturally, and then the trauma is you getting rejected for it because you triggered your limited, fearful parents, and then because you had to survive and be pleasing to them, then you also started to live in fear of life itself, and now you have this developed rejection, fear of not acting upon the guidance of life, of God, not leading an intuitive, aligned life. And now only by being like that, you can manifest balance. But in order to manifest that, you have to face all of the fears that you have. The fears that you have the fear of following it, of acting upon it, of receiving it and acting upon it, right? Not receiving it and observing it, not receiving it and distracting yourself, not receiving it and ignoring it, but receiving it and then acting on it. And while you're doing that, you are facing the fear of that. Because the trauma, the effect of it, no matter when it happened, how it happened, and how much it happened, this is the effect of trauma. You're resisting yourself. And now you have to follow yourself, the God in you, that which you are and that which you're a part of. Starting to follow that until you manifest a balance in your life. You can only do it through that. Only this way you can come to it. There is no way, other way, mental way to come to it. This is the only way to it. And in that process, you will be facing fear from leading this kind of life. Because the trauma left the fear of following this kind of life. That's it. And so once you resolve this, once you face these fears, you become resilient. And life is not about relaxation, but resilience, where you're capable of facing life as it is and be open to face whatever needs to be faced in life. Life is about power and proving yourself the resilience. That's it. Life is not about relaxation. And so once you are resilient enough, once you have proven enough resilience to yourself, you will become relaxed about life. Because a strong, resilient person, it's like whatever comes, I can face it, right? This is resilience. And so only a resilient human being will become a relaxed human being. And a relaxed human will have a relaxed mind. Because then the body itself is relaxed, and then the mind can be relaxed in it, because all of the problems are resolved. The human can then express freely in life and face whatever comes to it, right? This is it. This is the whole point of life. This is all you need to do. There is no psychology tricks to resolve the mind. This doesn't work. All of the psychologists of the world are sick people. Psychology doesn't exist, doesn't resolve anything. Also, the people that are trying to resolve the body are also not resolving things. Body doesn't resolve. You can't resolve body on the body level. It's impossible. People are doing some kind of exercises and physical techniques. They don't work. These people are still lost. It's all about energy. It's all about life force and resistance to that. It's all about resistance to life force, because this is the only problem we have. Trauma, the only problem that it truly leaves on the energetic level, which is the holistic level, which dictates all of the levels of life, the only effect that trauma has is instilling in us the resistance to our life force, to us being guided by God, to us following upon the guidance of God, to us being aligned with our present life force. This is the only trauma. This is the ultimate effect of trauma, no matter who you are, no matter where you are on the planet, no matter what happened to you, no matter when it happened, and for how much time, for what intensity, it doesn't matter. This is the effect of the trauma. And then the physical level and the mental level is just to represent the mirror of that. That's it. And once you resolve this by starting to step in the balance, you will manifest that balance. But along the way, you will have to face the fears from leading this kind of life, because the trauma made you fear this kind of life, because the elite that knows this, they know this, they have traumatized us exactly for this reason, to make us fear the life so we don't have the experience of life, and then we are not aware of life. If you're not aware, you're partial, you're dissociated, you are weak, and you can be controlled and manipulated. That's it. This is how to dumb a human down. This is how to make a human stupid, is to make them fear themselves. That's it. This is the ultimate strategy from the elite of how to control population, how to control and destroy people. That's it. How to bring an everlasting domination and slavery upon us. Is to make people fear life when they are children, when they are dependent for survival. Because then actually you truly fear for life, right? When you're a child and you're flowing with life, you're being whole and spontaneous, you are then being free and liberated in your femininity. And once you're like this, beside somebody that's an adult and traumatized, you mirror to them what they can be, who they are, and then this gets triggered in them. And because trauma is them having fear of that, those parts of themselves that they recognize in you, and they can't face it, they will then reject you, right? Who you are, go away from me, you shouldn't be like this, or they fuck you up, or they leave you, whatever. They abandon you, they reject you. And because you need them to survive, because we are as children, we are very fragile, because we need them to survive, we losing them means actually us risking our own life. We could die or experience very strong pain, and we don't want that to happen. We fear this the most, right? This is our biggest fear of dying. It's normal, because if you don't live, what's the point of life? So the fear of dying should be the most powerful fear to experience, because it propels us in lives, right? It gives us the reason to live, to have this experience even. And so then you stay attached to a parent, but you start becoming pleasing, you start performing, you start becoming a people pleaser, right? You start manipulating, you start lying, you start deceiving. And you start rejecting yourself. You start rejecting yourself, and you start showing your false self. You develop an ego, a second self. Ego just means I in Latin. So you have a false I, a second I. Here it is you, and then there is this false mask of you, your ego, which is then here, that will always be, which will always be accepted. So you can survive, right? And this is a needed strategy for a child when his life is at stake. This is a totally normal thing when we live in survival. It's a normal thing. It's needed. It's very intelligent, actually. It's what should happen. It is saving our life. But then we live like this our whole life, right? We are not like, for instance, when you see in the wild, when a lion is chasing a zebra, while she's being chased, she's afraid. After the chase, she shakes off the fear, and then she's again in heaven. She isn't living in fear, but we remain living in fear because we are so fragile, and nobody works with us to help us process that, right? And most of the life, we are surrounded by this kind of people where you constantly need to be in survival mode in order to even be a part of some kind of community. Because if you're not like that, then you're alone, right? Most of my life I was alone because people can't face themselves. And I was constantly, my whole life, mirroring to people their distortion. I'm not saying that I was always perfect. I was not. I was also being hurt and destroyed by the indoctrination and damaged people, but still somehow remained enough purity that triggered people then even more. And this is the only problem of the world and the only solution to it, right? Then to become awake to this. This is what awakening is. This is all what awakening really is. It's just you realizing this fact and now having this power to change that man in the mirror. That's it. To realize actually that this is how it is, even if you're aware or not, that this is what is driving your life, your fear of life, because of the rejection, because this is the pain of life, this is the suffering, this is the trauma, you fearing life now, because you were rejected in some part. This is just rejection of some part of you. It's not the end result of it. This was just the trigger that made you now fear life. This is the effect of it that is then destroying your life. You fearing life because you were rejected when you were being whole. And so people are now living in stressful situations because of that, and then trying to alleviate these pains, right? And we've all been through these things. This is the point of life, is to experience this and then to prove to yourself that by facing it, not by bypassing it and pretending that you're resilient, but by being open and soft about it, face it, walk through it, and truly come to you finally trusting yourself, recognizing that you're powerful enough that you can start depend on yourself, that you can become this responsible adult where you start being responsible and responding accordingly to what the present moment demands from you. You start listening, you stop betraying yourself, and you start depending on God, on that which He provides to you every moment of the way. You start listening, being open to it, and aligning with it by acting on it as soon as possible. Being in flow with it in life, right? Being without resistance to it. This is how it is. And in you being aligned and then acting on it, is you being feminine and masculine already, working from that balance, step by step, manifesting it, right? This is the only way to manifest balance in the everlasting, permanent way. It's the only way. And along this way, you will be facing the fears of following upon your own guidance, of following upon your life force, facing the fears of trusting yourself and facing the fears of being whole. And along the way, you will manifest a balanced way and also a balanced self, resolve the ego, detach from it, resolve it fully, and then just finally becoming this fearless soul. That's it. I don't have a second self. There is just me, the soul. That's it. I have resolved my ego. It resolves by itself, by you finally accepting on the energetic, experiential level God in your life. This is what this new age is all about. It's not about a belief in God. It's not about having faith in God. It's not about doing human techniques or making some special technology in life or advancing in this AI or technology, but it's about finally recognizing that the highest intelligence, the highest evolvement there is, it's actually these both spheres of life, right? We have this liberal idea where we're trying to AI technologically advance ourselves like crazy, and then we have this conservative idea, religious idea of people just because of fear trying to be a part of community that believes in God, and everybody has their own God, right? So we have to come into the balance of it, look the whole picture of it. So it's about truly choosing the highest technologies, allowing ourselves the highest advancement in life by becoming mature, right? Because what good is technology if we are not mature for it? It will just be used as distraction for the planet until now, right? So we need maturity. This is our highest technology. It is what will allow us to use the highest technology. And then not just being a blind follower of some guru or some community or some belief system, but actually experiencing God, finally truly following God, not just in belief, but also in energy, in body, holistically, right? So this is our highest intelligence. It is what will allow us to use our highest intelligence, our highest advancement. It will give us that, and it is true acceptance of God in our life, not on the belief level, but on the experiential, energetic level. That's it. It's very beautiful how everything comes together. That's it. This is it. This is how it's done. There is no method to it but the surrender to God, but not to religion or to a faith, but to the experience of God, to the energetic alignment to it, to the life force, to the femininity within, because it's the portal to the balance within and without. Only through this way, by finally starting to act upon our alignment with the life force, with the femininity within, we can become a balanced being, a mature being, and therefore manifest balance in the world. No politic, no other savior, no alien, nobody will come to save us. Nobody will do the work for us. This is what we need to do. This is what we need to do to resolve all of the pains of life. To some point, it is a test of faith, right? Because until You have proven this to yourself on experiential level. It is just a test of faith. Once you have proven this to yourself also on experiential level, then faith is not an issue anymore because you have experience. But until you have experience, it is about faith, right? Because there is everything, it is all you got until you have experience. Faith is all you got. So I'm saying, believe something and test it out. Test it out. Don't just believe and remain there. Test it out and see if it brings value to your life. See if it brings evolvement, permanent evolvement. See if it truly is, if it truly mirrors, if it truly awakens true love within, if it brings love for yourself and for others. See if it makes you a better being. I know it does. I know this work does. Because there is nothing else but God. And if once you accept it in your life fully, not only in the mind, but also in the body and in the energy, everything being guided by the energy of God. On experiential level again, right? Not on the wishful thinking level, but on the in the moment action level. Then you're set for life. That's it. This is how we will manifest New Earth. This is how we will save people. I always remember when I speak about these things, I always remember one friend I had. If he was still alive right now, I would call him brother. He was my age. And when we met, I had too much problems in life that I wasn't facing. I was trying to resolve them. And so I didn't have time for people. I didn't have time for him. I didn't recognize the friendship that he is giving me, the present that he was in my life, because I had too many problems with myself. But if he was still now alive, I would say he's my brother, and he killed himself. When I heard about it, I cried like a little baby. And he killed himself just because he believed the lie that he is weak. He believed the lie that he can't face the issues of life. This is why he killed himself. I don't know, because he didn't tell me, right? But he killed himself because he believed the lie in his head that he is too weak to face it. That's why he killed himself. And everybody who knows him knows that he is very intelligent. He was very intelligent. He had a beautiful heart, beautiful human being. When he died, probably not just me, but many people felt that lost a brother, that have lost a brother. If he was still alive right now, I miss him now and then, just because he is probably like the only human that understands my sense of humor. not needing to explain anything to him, just aligning with me. And so he believed that he is too weak to face it. So he took his life. And then seeing how many people are drugging themselves, abusing substances and people in life in order to alleviate their own stress, manage themselves, so much destructiveness. And we are paying and working, giving our life, paying all of these bills and money for what? For the system that doesn't work. Not that it doesn't work, but it actually works properly. It just doesn't work for us. It works against us, right? It works just as it should. We working our ass off for it in order to kill us, right? And it's doing a good job. It is succeeding. And because we are not uniting, because people are still indulging in distractions, in the games, in their own individual selfishness, the destruction upon people continues. That's it. We are paying for the system that actually is killing us and making us stupid. The healthcare and the school system. And nobody is providing us the way out of it. So that's why I'm here, and that's why this lesson is here. It is a chance for you to save yourself for the long term, for the long run, to permanently resolve what you can resolve, because the inner conflict with life, it is all up to you. The inner conflict resistance that you have, fear of your own femininity, fear of your own life force, fear of following upon your guidance of God, fear of accepting God fully in your life and being guided by that. That fear is fully resolvable within. It is fully up to you. And once you come to that internal power by stopping all of the distractions, stop indulging in all of the destructiveness of life, and taking as much time for yourself as possible to start listening to these lessons and acting them out, following them. It's like the most important thing you can do in life. It's the most important way to invest in yourself, because nothing else works, and nobody else can do it for you. If I would have met this brother of mine right now, I would have just hugged him and not let him go for some time, like a little bit possessive mother. Just hug him and tell him that everything will be okay, everything will be fine, and just repeat that. for as long as possible to save him, right? So what can you do? I tried to save the people in my life already all my whole life, but they don't listen. They don't listen, people don't listen. People just do their own thing, keep losing themselves. And the only thing you can do is save yourself, truly. You can only save yourself. You can't save anybody else. You can only save yourself. And then be the guiding light. Be the representation of that, the embodiment of that, of how resolvement looks like. Not becoming love and light from the ideology standpoint of view, where you're performing it, but truly embodying that and becoming a fully fledged human being, an embodied soul, and therefore allowing people, because of your own purification, allowing people to truly, for the first time in life, see themselves how they can be. Through you, see their own potential. This is so powerful. This is so very powerful. Because you can't change them by changing them. You can then just be this purified mirror for them, where they can see their own potential and see if they are still running away from it. They can become conscious, more conscious of you just spontaneously triggering them just because of your existence. And then they seeing themselves, their own triggerness, themselves being triggered, where they can become awakened to the fact that they have serious issue in life, right? And then you can even be the guiding light, truly knowing how to do it because you have walked the path, and truly not deceive them like many people do when they deceive people, when they are themselves not truly resolved, but truly guide them. So by you purifying yourself from the resistance to life, by following upon the guidance, by being obedient to God, on the energetic, holistic, experiential level, you're actually purifying yourself, balancing yourself, purifying yourself from fear, balancing yourself in your masculinity and femininity, and becoming the mirror for people to see their own potential and see actually where they are, for their own illusions to drop, so they can see their own triggers, so the illusions can drop and they can actually start evolving. Because how can you evolve if you live in an illusion where you pretend that you're somewhere where you're not, right? So people can stop lying to themselves because the triggering is so strong of your own true light and love, right? And then you can even provide to them the guidance for their next steps. It is the most powerful thing you can do for the society, for your loved ones, for the people in your life, for all this whole bamboozle that we are in. obedience to God, it's the most important thing in life. But not on the belief level, on the experiential, energetic level, where you're truly being obedient to what the God is providing to you, the life force that's coming from here, that's tied to you, that you actually are. By you being aligned with what's present in the moment and acting on it, right? Because what good is it if it's not being acted upon? If it is not being acted upon, then it is not being created. And if you don't create it, you don't have an experience of it. And if you don't have experience of it, you're not truly aware of it. Then you're not being one with it. So it truly takes, going all the way, it truly takes the whole principle to be engaged. So the feminine, the acceptance, the alignment, and then the masculine, the action. Only in this way, you are already starting to manifest balance for yourself. And in this way, this is the only way, there is no method to it. And in this way, you guarantee for yourself the balance in the future. If you're walking constantly in this way, you're walking in balance. You're constantly manifesting balance, abundant balance in the future. It's how it is. And resolving your physical level and your mental level. I remember my mind when I was 20 years old being like, shh, constant chaos, shh, just white snow, my mind. Crazy. And now it is just like totally relaxed, like some kind of monk, almost. Just a relaxed human being. Why? Because the body, it's resilient and it can face whatever emotion and whatever it is being demanded from it. It can face whatever kind of energy flows through it, whatever kind of energy in the moment it's being demanded to flow through the body. It can easily flow through it because the body is resilient enough and enough known with all of the human spectrum energies that no energy anymore can surprise it, trigger it, or overthrow it. This is what resilience is. It is you being soft and so known with the energy of life, energies of life, with the full spectrum energy of life, that it cannot surprise you anymore. That's it. Life is about resilience. Body, it's about resilience. And once it is resilient, it becomes strong. It becomes relaxed because it is strong. So by accepting God in life, you truly resolve all of the levels of life. It's beautiful. It truly is the only cure, the only salvation in your life. This is actually also the only way, that this is the only thing in my life, after everything I've tried, everything I've searched for in this conventional system and the alternative, that has worked for my 3 autoimmune diseases. It's pretty crazy. The acceptance of God in life on energetic level, which is then the holistic level, right? My autoimmune is not fully resolved, but I have achieved like 90% resolvement. Pretty crazy. And then you do even a little bit of fasting in life, where you then even physically purify your body by not eating. And then just the regeneration gets faster. It's pretty great. You can leave truly all of the ballast behind on the energetic level and the physical level. So you can go easier, fresher, more updated in your life into the new earth, much more lighter. That's it. I wish for you to recognize how important it is to accept the God, how important it is to accept God in your life. Truly. How much power is in that? Where you truly start depending on God, on yourself, becoming an independent human being, recognizing your own worth by allowing God, by obeying God, then allowing God to reveal it to you. To fully recognize yourself as the child of God. And then if we live in this manner, we recognize ourselves as family. This is all we need. Then we stand together and we can change everything. We can then, the mature people stands together and eliminate from the group the immature people and give those people the true path, so then they can at some point join the maturity. The true path that truly works, not some kind of religion, moral belief system, or some kind of destructive guidance like healthcare and school, but a true, genuine path to their own maturity, so we can then fully be together. Is there a better solution? I don't know. There is no better solution. There is no better way. And this is the only way. Just check it for yourself. Do the research. Check all of my videos. It's the only way. That's it. So if you'd like, you can check me on Instagram and Facebook. I write there. And I use those platforms to point you to YouTube. That's it. I will forever be making here gratis, free lessons. Be the pillar of groundedness and discernment in this war of delusion. And that's it. See you in the next video. Bye.